Welcome to the Lipstick League, where
sports and pop culture come to play. I'm going to stop singing that.
No, I think you have a nice voice.
You think so?
Yeah.
Working on it.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yes. Merry, merry.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I'm sure we have amazing Jewish listeners, and we probably have some listeners that celebrate Kwanzaa. But
yes.
We're going to put out a special Christmas episode, but this is also a holiday episode.
Yes.
Even though both of us dressed like Santa's little helpers.
That's right. I'm the reindeer.
I somehow have this Eagle Santa hat, which
great.
I'm not sure where I found it or how I have it, but I just do. And I figured, why not?
Yes. 'Tis the season. 'Tis the day, because this is Christmas.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is Christmas.
Hope Santa was very good to you. And if Santa didn't visit you, I hope you're getting Chinese food and watching movies. Obviously, a lot of people love going to the movies. We can't go to the movies this year because unfortunately, we're in a pandemic. But we thought, hey, since you can't go to the movies, why not binge listen to the Lipstick League?
That's right. That's right. And that's why we put up this episode. So if you miss any of our other episodes, clearly check them out, on wherever you listen to your preferred podcasts. And some more exciting news, we are now on YouTube.
Yay! Shout out to Sam, who is our amazing assistant producer, and she's just like killing it.
Yeah,
so
she's killing it. We're gonna have to have her on so we can introduce her to everybody. But a lot of the social stuff you're seeing, like Sam's she's kind of holding it down on that front for us right now, which is really cool. So we're super appreciative of like all the hard work that she's putting in. And you'll get to meet her after New Year's probably.
Yeah. So what was Christmas like for you growing up? Or is there a favorite Christmas memory or a gift, or what was it like?
So, it's funny. So, my parents were married. So I always did split Christmases.
Yeah.
So I would wake up at my mom's mostly, open my presents there. And then I'd go spend like Christmas night with my dad.
Okay.
Which was always nice because I got like 2 sets of presents, which was always fun. But my dad would make this big dinner and we'd all just hang out and listen to music. And, it's funny this time of year, I think a lot about my grandmother, who you've seen me post her before, but she always made all of my Christmases just so special when I was a little girl.
And is this your dad's mom or your mom's mom?
So this is my dad's mom.
Okay.
You'll learn more about her like in the other episodes, but she was such a huge presence in my life and, equally as responsible for the way that I am today, as my parents are. And she was when I think about Christmas, I always think of her just because she was just this beautiful, kind, classy woman who just wanted everybody around her to feel as good as she did. I mean, and not only on Christmas, there's not one person who I've ever met who knew my grandmother who said anything otherwise that, you would leave her and you didn't feel like better about life. Like she was just amazing human. And she just made every Christmas so special for me. And she always had, like the singing Christmas stuff.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Elves and like the singing, like plates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Her house would turn into like a winter wonderland and like everything would go off. Like there'd be so many sounds. Like she had this Santa talking head that you would press the button and go, ho, ho, ho. And she was always buying like all these Christmas Carol things. And she was just this wonderful human. So every year on Christmas, I think about her. And I mean, I know it's sad. I lost her when I was 16, which is young now, right? It's 15 years ago. More than that, 16. Yeah, 16 years. But it's just like those, when it comes to Christmas, like that's just the one holiday. I think of her every holiday, but Christmas in particular, just because she made my Christmases so special. I remember like sitting in her living room on the floor in front of her little TV and like the Hershey Kisses holiday commercials.
Yeah. There was all that controversy this year. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, so basically that was the traditional commercial. They were like bells, the little flags.
And then the little one went ding.
Yeah, and then this year they had father and daughter in it, and people were in an uproar. And they're like, why are you going to ruin it? So
I kind of tend to agree because when I think like that commercial reminds me of my grandmother because she loved it too. You know, so I'd be in her living room watching Christmas movies, watching a Muppets Christmas Carol, which she would put on for me every year, and we would watch it. And yeah, it's really just like, that's my fondest like childhood Christmas memories.
And what was her name?
Norma.
Oh,
So she
Norma.
was Norma Eganoff. So we have the same initials, NE. And I was born at Northeastern Hospital in Allegheny Ave, and it had a big NE on the top.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when she would say, "Oh, look, that's our building, Natalie," because I was NE, she was NE. So yeah, like just a ton of, you know, memories that come flowing back. Here she is. Let me show you. I have this picture of her. Here she is when she was 16 or 17, I think. Yeah, this was her high school photo. She went to Frankfurt High School when it was over here on Lehigh Ave in Philly. Jones Junior High, which was on Ann and Memphis in the Kensington section of Philly. So yeah, born and raised Philly gal herself. Taught me everything I need to know about this city.
It.
Yeah, so I miss her greatly, and Christmas is always about her.
Yeah, it's interesting because both of us, obviously, our grandmothers were really important. So my mom's mom was my Grammy, and then my dad's mom is my Nana, and they're so different. So Grammy, my mom's mom, was like loved to shop and costume jewelry and ran for public office when she was in her late 50s, which we can get into in another episode.
Yeah.
And like, not only did she run for public office when she was in her late 50s, but she handed out little hair picks and brushes as promotional campaign items. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And she like loved to gamble and like curse like a sailor. And then Nana, my dad's mom, was the one who was like super, super, super sweet and just loved all the saints and would pray to Saint Francis because she loved the animals. But they were both so, I mean, my Nana lived in the same town and my Grammy lived a mile away. So, I mean, I probably saw both of them multiple times during the week.
Yeah.
And so for Christmas, we would always either go to Nana's or Grammy's for Christmas Eve. And then we would always end up at Grammy and Grandpa's for dessert. And then all of like my mom and my aunt's friends and their kids, we would all hang out and have cookies. And then Christmas Day, we would go to my Nana's, and then we would go to my Grammy's at night. So we were with them always.
Yeah. Yeah, so after my grandmother passed a couple years ago, my cousin Devin and her husband Josh, who's like this excellent chef. I mean, like a gourmet chef. He's not a professional chef.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, they're foodies and that's his hobby. And so they started hosting an open house on Christmas, probably like within the last like 5 to 10 years. And he makes all these like just gourmet appetizers and like really fancy stuff. And every year on Christmas Eve, we have Desiree's mudslides, because my grandmother loves mudslides and her alias was Desiree because apparently like men used to like fawn all over her.
Wow. Huh. Apple doesn't fall far. Apple doesn't fall far from Norma.
Yeah. So men used to like fawn all over her. She went by this alias named Desiree. Never got full detail on that. I mean, I probably may never get full detail on the whole Desiree thing, but so we have like Desiree's mudslides every Christmas Eve, and like, you know, just as a way to remember her, because she also made her own Kahlua, which she would give out on Christmas too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we're Polish, and so we always would have the Polish Christmas Eve, which is pierogies, and it's no meat.
Oh my God,
it's
yes.
pierogies, and then it would be like, it's kind of gross. Like pierogies are delicious, but then we would have like lima beans and like sauerkraut and like mushrooms and eggs. Like it was weird. And so
that sounds, I would like love to come to that. I want to go to a Polish Christmas.
Yeah, it's very traditional, which is cool. So what was cool though is that when my grandparents passed away, my Aunt Janet, my mom's sister, so my mom and my Aunt Janet and all their friends grew up within like a block of each other. It's very similar, like where I grew up in the coal regions. is similar than growing up in like Northeast Philly or Port Richmond, where it's like all the houses are close by and it's the
yeah,
neighborhood.
it's just like, I mean, that's the neighborhoods are essentially small towns within a big city. That's all it is.
Yeah. And so we grew up in a small town. And so my Aunt Janet started doing Christmas Eve. So all of her friends came, and then their kids are all around my age, and some of them have their own kids. So I always call them my fake cousins.
Yeah.
And we went, and it's actually really sad this year, but one of my aunt's best friends, Nancy, suddenly passed away a couple days ago.
Oh no.
And yeah, they think it was either a heart attack or a blood clot. And it's
so
real.
sad.
We obviously weren't doing Christmas Eve this year.
Yeah, my family's, we're not doing it either.
Yeah, because of COVID. And it's just so sad. And like, I talked to my aunt on Friday. Nancy passed away on Thursday. And so you'll be listening to this like 2 weeks ago. And my aunt's like, they live in Baltimore, so they would specifically come up to celebrate Christmas. So imagine having a friend for literally like 65 years, and then they couldn't see each other because of the pandemic. It's just sad. And so it's hard because this year, and I think a lot of people are alone, or it's we're just having my immediate family, and where I'm used to having like 30 people at Christmas Eve.
Yeah. It's just my immediate family as well. Like, my mom, my sister, my niece, my sister's husband. Yeah,
that's fun. You have the kids though, because that makes it so fun.
Morgan's so cute. I got her Play-Doh. She's not going to see this. Well, she'll have opened it by then.
Right.
So, I got her Play-Doh. That was the big ticket item this year. My sister's going to kill me because I asked Morgan, I said, what do you want? What'd you ask Hannah for? She said, Play-Doh. And my sister's like, no.
But that's the beauty about being an aunt, is you get to be a cool aunt.
Right. So my sister, she doesn't know that I got the Play-Doh, but I got her this little like treasure set.
So cute.
Play-Doh. And I was like, I kind of want it.
Yeah. We'll play together.
Yes. Yeah. So it's cool with the kids now, seeing their reaction. And, I hope she loves Santa for a really long time.
Yeah, absolutely. How about so my mom still goes to church all the time, and she's in the choir. The funny thing about Catholics is that like, we're really not like crazy church people. It's that like, we love like being social. So my mom like likes the social part of church. You know what I mean? So she's on like the church, what's it called? Committee. Like almost like the church committee. Yeah. So she's like, Nicole Ann, we got to make reservations for church. So we got to do either Christmas Eve 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m., or Christmas Day at 8 a.m., 10 a.m. or noon. And she's like, I think.
Are these all the long masses? Like, are you going for the whole?
Oh yeah, we go. Like I say, I'm a creaster. Christmas, Easter, and Ash Wednesday.
I'm a creaster too.
Christmas, Easter, and Ash Wednesday. And so I'll go, but normally like it's packed, and like the 4:00 church is like such a huge deal. You got to get there 45 minutes early.
Oh yeah, otherwise you're standing in the back with all the other lazy people who didn't get there in enough time.
Yep. But this year, because of COVID, you had to make a reservation. You had to call the rectory. Yes.
No.
So my mom was all upset because she wanted 2:00, but we had to take 4. So, cause they have like seats blocked off, you got to wear your mask, but like my mom wants to go. So we had to make not dinner reservation, church. Reservation.
My God, that is so funny.
Is that great?
That's insane. But I mean, I'm glad that they're doing it. I'm glad that they're still having mass for people that want to go, because it is a beautiful mass. It's just having, we sat through it for 12 years.
Yeah.
Well, you did. No, you didn't. No.
12, kindergarten to 12th grade.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you did 12 too. I was like, wait a minute. Was there anything that I missed? No.
Yeah. My mom taught in a Catholic school.
Yeah.
Like that's how I was parented. If you don't do that, Jesus isn't going to love you.
Yeah. No, he's not. And there's nothing quite like Catholic guilt to really, hammer home any messages.
No. Do we talk about that funny meme that was like, how many syllables in Gloria?
Oh yeah.
Catholics. 27. Oh,
27. Yeah, it's accurate. I did. So in grade school, I went to St. William's, and we had this Monsignor. His name was Monsignor Mortimer, and he would bring the entire school. And this is a weird thing about Catholic school too. I don't know if you did this, but our school did this. We like spent a lot of time singing.
All the time.
Did you sing a lot? Like for no reason?
And I can't carry a tune.
No. And like so Monsignor Mortimer would bring the entire school to church like the week before Christmas. and we'd go through Christmas carols. And, you know, my best friend Murray,
Yeah.
me and Murray always talk about it, how he would like walk up and down the aisles and be like, sing, children, sing. And we're like, nobody thought that that was strange. That like the louder it was, like he was like, yeah, like he got like so jacked by like the Christmas carols in church. And like it was just, we did a lot of singing, but that was always fun. Yeah, we did that every year.
I always loved the Advent candle where it was like the 3
light
purples.
the Advent candle one.
It was the 2 purple, then the pink, and then the purple. Remember, like the 4.
Wait, is that Advent?
Or is that Lent?
Lent. That might be Lent.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
I thought the Advent wreath. You might be right. Is it
Advent wreath? Yeah.
Does it have a dual? What's the Lenten thing? What's the aren't there Lent candles?
Yeah.
Too?
See, look how pretty.
This is how out of commission we are. We should.
The champagne berry Advent wreath. Look, we could order it for $60. Hold on. Hold on. This is from the Catholic company.
I was just gonna say that from the Catholic.com.
Look, see.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that is. Oh, it is the Advent.
Yeah. So you like the 2 purple ones, then the pink is and then the purple is right before Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm confusing it. There's a Lent candle too, right?
The Lenten candle is the really, really big one that they light on.
Oh, that's the Pascal candle, right?
Yes, good job. Good job. See, it's all coming back. Look at the cute kid one. That's like a stuffed animal.
Adorable.
Cute. Yeah. I wanted to tell this really cool story about my dad, and it kind of ties together to Christmas.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really sweet. But I wanted to ask you first, is there any gifts or is there any sports moments that, because we're going to get to the games, obviously we've got to talk about the games that are going to have Christmas, that you celebrated? Like, I know you guys your family's big hockey people.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really recall any sort of like games that we would watch on Christmas, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad was always like getting some sort of new Flyers memorabilia every year.
Yeah.
That was like my go-to. So how funny is this? Like, I used to get him the books. Like, I remember I got him this book. It was called The Guide to Being like the Greatest Philadelphia Sports Fan. And it was written by like Anthony Gargano.
No way.
Yeah, and I got it for my dad for like Christmas one year. Oh yeah. It was like $12 in Barnes & Noble, but it was there. And I was young. And now it's just so funny that like now I work with Anthony. But like I knew that that's like that was like my dad's lane. You know, that's who he is. He's a sports talk radio listener. So yeah, I remember getting him like that kind of stuff. Yeah. And we always got tickets to a Flyers game.
Yeah.
Or like a new jersey or like some sort of like new gear. I remember the year my mom got me my Eagles starter jacket, which I was like so pumped to have. You know, you go back to school after New Year's, I'm like standing in the schoolyard, like, check out my pouch. Yeah. Yeah. So no, I mean, the teams were always just like such a part of my holidays. That's probably why I don't even think about it, just because it was just like, that's a standard gift. It's like, what new Philadelphia sports gear am I going to get?
For this year, I got my dad and my brother, I got them a Penn State football desk calendar. So every day you tear it off and it's a new fun fact. And there was an Eagles one, and my best friend Joe was like, "You're not going to get that for yourself?" I go, "No." I go, "What am I going to put it on my nightstand?" Like, he's like, "You're a crazy cuckoo Eagles lady." I go, "We got to have Joe on the podcast."
Yeah, we have to have Joe on the podcast.
We'll have Marie and Joe. We'll do a best friend episode.
Yeah, we should. Oh my God, that would actually be so amazing.
So fun. And then, so my dad loves North Carolina Tar Heels. So I got him North Carolina slippers.
Oh, cute.
Which I think he'll really like. And then I got him and my brother both Penn State football masks.
Okay. Oh, nice.
It's a good thing about the pandemic is that you could get masks this year. It's a nice new accessory.
It's like an add-on.
Yeah.
So MLB.com had this insane sale right before, it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they had Phillies jerseys for like dirt cheap, the majestic ones.
Wow.
Yeah. So all the men in Natalie Eganoff's life are getting majestic Phillies jerseys.
That's nice. My dad loves the St. Louis Cardinals too. So usually every year I go, it's either North Carolina Tar Heels, Penn State, or St. Louis Cardinals. He likes the Sixers, but those three are like his, especially the Cardinals and the Tar Heels. Those are his
well,
teams.
he has that like relationship.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell this story. So my dad was a basketball coach, and I think I referenced this a little bit. My dad coached basketball for almost like 15 years. Our Lady of the Valley, Go Chargers, 7th and 8th grade. Okay. And in the 1990-1991 season, he coached the team that year that they won the Allentown Diocese. They beat St. Tommy Moore, which were the rich kids from the Lehigh Valley.
Oh, nice. A win for the underdogs.
Yeah. And they actually got to go, the state championship was at St. Joe's University on City Line Avenue, right by the radio station. And they ended up placing 4th in the entire state.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And so like literally, I mean, when I'm talking like Our Lady of the Valley had maybe, I mean, it was kindergarten to 8th grade, and there was maybe 20 kids in each class. Do you know what I mean? So like it's a small school, small town. And I was in 4th grade at the time, and we jumped on these buses and we drove down to Philadelphia, and we stayed at the Holiday Inn, which is now the Crown Plaza, which is also right by the radio station. But like going from Summit Hill, PA to Philadelphia, and it was incredible. And they placed 4th in the state. And it was one of those things that like, it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like in that area when something like that happens. And needless to say, you know, I've talked a little bit about it too, is that my dad has Parkinson's, and, you know, he's almost 70, and he loves sports so much, and he has such fond memories of that team in particular. And that team, had amazing athletes, and 2 of the athletes on the team is this guy, Mark Makovic. I mean, they're like mid 40s now, these players. But Mark Makovic was like my first like dreamboat crush. Like he was a super athlete. So he graduated from Our Lady of the Valley, went to Marion, was a star basketball, track, and football player, ended up getting a full scholarship to Wake Forest and played football at Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And then Brian Kennedy, who was also on that basketball team with my dad, he was the quarterback in high school and ended up going and played quarterback for the Naval Academy. So like they were elite athletes.
Yeah.
But like I was obsessed with Mark Makovic, like so much so that Mark, I guess, was like 5 years or 6 years older than me.
Okay.
And he was always in the local newspaper. So I'd cut out the newspaper and hang it on my wall.
Oh, yeah.
And so when he graduated from Marion, which was the high school I went to, he went to Wake Forest. The Christmas that he was at Wake Forest, my dad got me a Wake Forest University sweatshirt.
Oh, cute.
And the football program. So like, and that, you know, I don't even think the internet was like, there was no like shipping at that point. Like the internet existed, but like my dad called Mark, and Mark like got it from the bookstore and like gave it to my dad as
that is so sweet,
as a present. This is why I'm still single, because it's just like the expectations are just so high. So obviously that was incredible, but what happened this year was even more incredible. So all those guys on that team, for the last 8 months, they got a basketball made and said, you know, the 4th in the state. And this one player from the team, his name's Tommy Jones. He's a lawyer, and then was like sick of being a corporate lawyer and joined the Merchant Marine. So he travels all over the world, and he got every single player to sign the basketball. And he showed up by surprise at my parents' house like 2 weeks ago, like old school. Like it was a Sunday night, and like Tommy knocked at my parents' front door. Knocked on the door.
Wow,
like,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they opened it.
Summit Hills, where like the mailman goes into the house to deliver the mail. You know what I mean? Like,
we need to get back to those times.
I know.
Reminds
but
me
like
of that, the Sebastian Maniscalco skit. Have you ever seen that?
Oh my God, when people ring the doorbell.
Yeah, you come in, you want some sanka, you want some cake, I'll cut you a slice. It's for company. Your parents had company. He showed up. My parents had company.
I'm telling you, the last time I was home on a weekday, literally like Keith Mangan is the mailman, and he just like, hey Chet, and like walks in and just like hands my dad the mail like a Tuesday. So I'm gonna put this I'll put this on the Lipstick League social, so Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. But here I'm going to hold up. This is how cute my dad is. This is him holding up the basketball that
he is like,
yeah. And
God.
So he was crying, but like, how amazing that all those players, like the one guy on the team is a professor at Notre Dame and came home for the weekend and signed the ball and then went back to Notre Dame.
Are you serious?
Yes. Mark Makovic, who is like, I thought I was going to marry. He's a principal in Virginia.
Is he married?
He's married. He has 3 kids. Yeah, he's married.
Damn.
There's always divorce. But he drove halfway up to meet Tommy, and they met, and because I thought like that they just FedExed it. You know what I mean?
Well, but wait, I don't know, because I know you told me the story, but I didn't realize that like they were traveling to sign the ball.
Yes, they were traveling to sign the ball because I guess Tommy was too worried about putting it in the mail. So like he took the ball and like the one, it's actually kind of funny, but I guess like one of the kids, I won't say his name, but has struggled with drugs and is kind of like a little bit of like a derelict. And my dad's like, I don't even know how the hell they found him, but he's on it.
Oh my, well, at least he's still with us. At least
I know, that's what I said.
And coherent enough to sign the ball.
I go, well, hopefully, and I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe they just like
they like
forged it. Yeah, but we don't need to tell. But I was so touched, and I wrote, it was really, really, really cute. So this is what I wrote really quick. It said, as most as you know, Chet was a 7th and 8th grade boys basketball coach at Our Lady of the Valley for many years and loved it so much. The 1990-1991 season was quite exciting as the team not only won the Allentown Diocese Championship, but also went off to play in Philadelphia and placed 4th in the entire state. It was such an exciting time and gave us the best memories. The boys on the team are all now well into their 40s with careers and families of their own who live all over the country and sometimes the world. And for Christmas this year, Tommy Jones spent 8 months reaching out to every member of the team, meeting them to have them sign the basketball for Chet. Needless to say, he was beyond surprised and overcome with emotion. We can't thank you all enough for this incredible, special, and thoughtful gift. Go Chargers. And the team was Tommy Jones, Brian Kennedy, Mark Makovic, Swoon. He was my original JJ Redick.
I'm gonna Google him real quick.
Steve Yurchak, Pat Cramsey, Michael Summers, Pat Boyle, Colin Jones, Ed Kocha, Justin Williams, Greg Kashulok, and then his
Justin Williams,
yeah.
Not the same who played for the Flyers, right?
No. And then Juvie Cramsey, Terry McCall were the coaches, and then my brother was the ball boy, Andrew Mahalik. So it was super, super cute.
That is so sweet. It really is.
So it was a really cool, obviously it's just, this is a weird Christmas.
Well, and it's like the fact that like they, like, it's so touching. And that's also why I love the holidays, is because I know this year more than ever, I feel like people have stepped up to the plate to be kind, but like generally around Christmas, people always find that holiday cheer to be like kinder to others. And I mean, it's amazing that they went out of their way, like, just to do that. That's so special. And those are the gifts, like these priceless gifts that you can't replicate, you can't get back.
And it was funny because when I talked to my dad, he's like, oh, Nicole, there's like 800 likes on Facebook. I go, there's like 500, but there's about 200 comments and 9 shares. He's like, what does that mean? What does a share mean?
Yeah.
So then I had to explain it. So then my mom comes up, he's like, Diane, 900 likes on Facebook. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like what social media he's not even on social media. He's now obsessed with how many likes. And then he goes, well, at least I did something right in life. I go, Dad, I would think that like, Andrew, hello, like Andrew and I.
Me and my brother, maybe?
Yeah, I was like, I feel like we're doing pretty good, but okay. Clearly you want to adopt Tommy Jones.
Right.
But no, it was beyond special, beyond sweet. And like, it was so amazing just because my dad loves sports so much, and like what that meant for him and just for like the town at that time. And just kind of an example of like when we launched this podcast, how much sports has meant to me. You know what I mean? Like it's just been ingrained. I mean, you and I, that's what we talk about. We talk about our dads and how we love sports so much because of our dads. And
it's just it's just so intertwined with like the fabric of like who, we are.
Yeah.
And that's what's like so special about it.
Like my dad is the sweetest and literally would get so hyped coaching 7th and 8th grade Catholic CYO that he would break clipboards. He'd be like, jumping Jesus. And my mom would be like, oh my God, Dad's breaking another clipboard, Nicole.
And he's using the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah. Such a no. Like I remember when I would say, oh, jerk. And mom would be like, oh, you want to curse, huh? You want to curse now?
If I say like, oh my God, my mother will still be like, Natalie Anna. Do not say that.
Wait, she calls you Natalie Anna?
Uh-huh. Do not talk about the Lord that way.
What's your middle name?
Anna.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
It is Natalie Anna.
Natalie
Anna. And mine's Nicole Ann.
Nicole Ann. Yeah. Uh-huh.
We have to go to like, what is it? The St. Anne Shrine. I think it's in like Scranton or something.
Oh yeah, we should go. Should we go on a field
trip? Oh, Nicole and Natalie, where'd you guys go this weekend? The St. Anne Shrine.
Should we take a bus up there?
Oh my God.
Like a Greyhound bus and like pack like little like sandwiches.
Oh my God, little tea sandwiches. That would be so fun. That would be so fun.
Shrine. No, there is, I mean, we talk about Christmas and we talk about the gift giving and all that stuff. And, like we were saying about our religion, and not really being as invested as we once were growing up. There is another part of me that when I think back, on my life and Christmas, like there is something so special about celebrating the action, like the story and, having like a reverence for, the religion that I grew up with, whether or not I agree with it at this point in my life. I mean, there's probably another episode for that.
I think we do the Catholic episode, bonus episode.
That might be like an hour and a half long. But there's just something so touching and just so sweet on the surface level of the story of Christmas and the manger. And
yeah, I still have my precious moments, a nativity set that my mom got me, I think in like 1998 that I put up every year.
Oh my God. Yes, it's so sweet.
I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it.
There's another thing that I remember that I forgot earlier. So my mom on Christmas Eve, she would have me and my sister sing happy birthday to baby Jesus.
That's cute.
And she would we'd light a little cupcake or a cake and we'd sing happy birthday to baby Jesus.
Isn't there that song like happy birthday baby Jesus?
Yeah, so St. William's first grade.
All year long we'll remember these precious gifts
we say to you, and we say la, la,
la, la. What a smash!
I know. That is a good one.
That was a jam.
That was a jam. So St. William's the first graders did an annual Christmas show, and people were cast when you were in first grade as somebody in like the nativity scene. And if you weren't cast in the play, you were a singing angel. And that was like the grand finale when like everybody would be out and like, it would be like these little first graders holding like a real baby. It was like somebody's little brother who got to be like Jesus that year, and then like all the singing angels would be like, la, 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 la. And again, the whole church would have to sing. Like it would just be like, the roof would be rocking at St. William's on Christmas. So yeah.
I have actually a funny Christmas pageant story since we're talking about this. So it's fourth grade and the volunteer moms come into the fourth grade classroom and they're like, hi, boys and girls. We're going to be putting on our Christmas pageant and we want to know if there's anybody that would like to sing a solo in the Christmas pageant. So I'm like, me, I'll do it. I want to sing. And like, I have vivid memories of this and nobody else raised their hand.
Wait, go on.
Okay. It was just me. And I'm like, I'll do it. So I had to sing Silent Night. So now my Aunt Janet my Aunt Janet knows how to sing. So I'm at my Aunt Janet's house practicing and I can't sing. Like when I tell you that I'm tone deaf, like silent. So my aunt's like, Nicole, you got to sing from your not silent. It's silent, not silent. And so she says to my mom, Diane, she's not gonna be able to sing. She's gonna be an embarrassment. You can't put her up there and sing. So my mom went to the now my mom taught in the school. My mom taught kindergarten and went to the principal. And instead I said, I had to be the greeter. So before because I couldn't sing. So I had to get up there and be like, good evening, parents, grandparents, family, and guests. Welcome to the Our Lady of the Valley Christmas pageant. Yeah. So they wrote a special, like I got to and then Sarah Mitchell got to sing Silent Night.
Oh, where's that bitch at now?
Not doing a podcast.
No, she's not. Well, as you said that, it just came flooding back to me. So right before I moved to the area where I grew up, Longcrest, where I went to St. Williams, I was doing, I feel like I was in some sort of other like program, and I had a holiday solo. Because
because you could carry a tune.
I too like wanted to be, they were like, who wants to sing Joy to the World solo on stage? And I was like, I do.
Yeah.
But like, I think I was like 5, maybe younger. I feel like maybe it was before I was even in school. Like I was little, and my mom had her sister, my Aunt Chris, kind of help me like get the words down, and she practiced Go Tell It on the Mountain with me. You know, and then then my solo was Joy to the World, and I think I had to do Go Tell It on the Mountain. That was the group song. But then I had to like step up, and then we did Joy to the World. And my mom was like, you just like took that like little microphone and just sung like your little heart out. She's like, you were like, Joy! I was like 4 or 5. So like, I don't think anybody was judging me, but that's, like we both had Christmas solos. See?
I mean, I always say that like my dreams of being a pop star were crushed that day, but I did learn how to like, that's when I realized that like, I like to be in front of a crowd. You know what I mean? So like, and I will say like, kudos to my aunt for being like, the bitch can't sing. Like you can't put her up there. And then kudos to the school because they didn't have to do that. Like, do you know what I mean? But my mom worked there. So I guess there was a little bit of nepotism, but yeah.
I mean, the greeter, like you came out before what was her name? Sarah Mitchell?
Sarah Mitchell. Yep.
Like you came out before Sarah. So you're the first person in everybody's minds. Like when they remember that day, they probably remember you coming out and greeting in like the best way possible.
And I remember it was dark and there was a big spotlight on me.
Oh, that's amazing.
But I did have the lead then in the 8th grade play.
Wait, were you Mary?
No. It was called A Christmas.
Oh, I thought you did that.
No, it wasn't. It was about a little girl who was traveling to see her grandparents, and I was like this I played an old lady. I got to wear a wig and like a big coat.
Wait, is it To Grandmother's House We Go?
No, it was called like The Christmas Traveler. And like we had old suitcases, and like the little girl was like on the train at like Grand Central Station. And I still remember it goes, "Ah, little angel, it never gets old. And each time it is told, it grows sweeter. And each day it brings joy to the listener. So tell your story, little angel. Mary and I are both sore in need of it." Isn't that weird? I still remember that. That's great. That was like the last 3 lines.
That's such a touching line too. I like love it.
Yeah. And I remember I got to wear a wig and I put like baby powder in it so it looked gray.
Yeah.
And then I looked like an old lady.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
it was fun.
I mean, it has all led us here to this great podcast where now we share our Christmas stories of yore with the wonderful people who listen to the Lipstick Lady.
Yeah, and I think it's cool too because I think like life always gives you lessons, and like obviously I was not made to be a singer, but I was made to talk and entertain. And so same. Like sometimes what you think that you want to be ends up like not working out because you're supposed to do something else.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with that. And whether it's a singer, and then again, you know, I've said it even before in my career, like I always thought eventually I'd end up in like as a sideline reporter, which like I kind of wanted to do, but then like as my career would grow, I would be like, you know what? Like it's fun for me to get to just be myself and talk about things, like, than me have to fit this role, you know?
Yeah.
And like, that's what the best part about it is. And again, if I would have went the sideline route, which there was opportunities where I could have like moved and like done some stuff like years ago. Um, but yeah, like I wouldn't be myself here today, like sharing stories about me singing Happy Birthday Baby Jesus.
Yeah.
You
And like,
know?
I always thought I wanted to be on the news, or I wanted to be on like
Yes,
e-news. And then I was like, but they don't get to be themselves. Like I get to
exactly.
tell my story and I get to be me. Like
Yeah.
all my friends that are on the news, like they're just reading off a teleprompter, or you watch Access Hollywood, like they're not being themselves.
No, I mean, and no knocking on them. Like it's a tough
Yeah.
business and they're really great at it. And that's the problem. Like I'm very unscripted. Like
Yeah.
I'm super unscripted and I prefer to kind of like have that free flowing, like improv style of communication. And it's just, yeah, it's great. And hopefully by next Christmas, like we'll have a Lipstick League holiday spectacular where like we can like,
Wait, we could perform Jingle Bell Rock, because we performed that in 7th grade, and I choreographed it, and I yelled at Corinne and Angie because they couldn't get the shimmy. And I'm like, it's a shimmy.
wait,
It's a shimmy.
did you do like the Mean Girls version?
I don't know, because Mean Girls wasn't out yet. It was just
Oh,
like jingle.
yeah.
I just made it up, and it was like jingle bell, jingle bell rock. And
Interesting.
then I was like, and Corinne and Angie couldn't shimmy. And I remember yelling at them.
Yeah,
I
and you're
would,
like, this, you're
I
gonna
yell.
kill it.
I was like, guys, it's a shimmy, shimmy.
Yeah, you like you gotta shake. You gotta
Yeah.
shake.
Oh my God,
Gotta
that would
do
be
the shake.
so fun. So
That is
fun.
fun. Yeah. So next year we'll have, we'll all be vaccinated. The
Yep.
world will be able to go out again. We'll
Taco.
have the Lipstick League. Yeah. We'll have the
And
Lipstick League Holiday Spectacular where Nicole and I will perform Jingle Bell Rock, a choreographed version of it.
we'll all sing Happy Birthday, Baby Jesus.
Yes, and then we will all sing Happy Birthday, Baby Jesus. Maybe like we could just put some feelers out now.
Yep.
Sorry, there's
We should get an artist to come.
an artist. Yeah, we'll have an artist come. We'll get some space. We'll have appetizers, champagne, wine.
So fun.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
gonna
it.
be. I'm already like, my mind is now, because this is how my brain works. Like now, I'm already like 9 miles ahead.
Yep, that's
And, like,
okay. You
about
do
how
it.
much fun it's gonna be, and it's like
Wait,
a year
like
from now. But
you
that's okay.
we have to manifest it, you know?
Yeah, so this is us putting it out into the universe. And we can't wait for you all to join us at the
Like
Lipstick League Holiday Soiree.
it's gonna be, and there's gonna be like glitter. Maybe we'll do like glitter canyons, or like
Yes.
confetti canyons.
Mm-hmm,
Oh my
mm-hmm.
God,
That could be
so fun.
Do you think, like, after we all sing Happy Birthday Baby Jesus, then we'll let the glitter canyon, like the glitter cannons explode?
Wait, and then we could do party favors. We could do Christmas ornaments as lips, lipstickly Christmas ornaments.
I can't wait. I can't wait. This is just the beginning.
All right, really quick sports before we wrap this up.
Oh yeah.
We were only supposed to do
like, what am I gonna wear?
Well, like, I know. I was like, well, I guess we all have to have like red nails and red lips.
Yes.
But Christmas Day is a huge day in the NBA, and so let's go over some of the games that are not some of the games, all the games. So the game that I'm most excited about is the Pelicans and the Heat. Hey JJ, I tagged JJ on Lipstick League, and it's, did you see that, how I made that GIF where he's like licking?
Oh wait, is that what that was?
Yeah, it was from like a press conference, and he was at the Sixers, and he does this thing where like he like licks his lips, and it's so fucking hot. And I like had it on, like I was watching, and I rewound it and then did a boomerang. Go look at it really quick.
I just like, wait, so you know what? Maybe he'll have to come to the holiday soiree, and perhaps, just perhaps, I can like put him in like a box and he'll like jump out of the box with like a bow on his head.
Got to get his permission from his wife, Chelsea. Like, I'm not trying to break up their marriage, but if she was just like, I'm cool with you, like making out with him quick, or just like feeling his ass, or like that. There was that one video that I have, maybe I'll post that, where he got to ring the bell when he was in the Sixers, and he was shirtless, and he has the lines. You know what I mean? Those. Oh
Yeah, like I call them the Adam Levine lines because he had them. He had them for a
yes.
minute.
Oh God, makes my stomach hurt.
God,
But
God bless us, everyone.
God bless us. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Literally.
One of my favorite tweets of all time was like, damn, God really did spend a little extra time on some people, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
he
spent a
did.
little extra time on JJ Redick. So Pelicans and the Heat, obviously that's going to be fun because, Jimmy is with the Heat. And then the Warriors and the Bucks. And I guess the Warriors will be a little bit better this year. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Giannis because he signed that massive, massive deal.
Yeah.
We see that a lot in sports, or maybe it's only Philly, where once a player signs a massive deal, then they start to suck. I mean, let's be honest, like happened with Ryan Howard. It happened with Bryce Harper. It's happened with Carson Wentz. Like there's something. So maybe it's Philly. I mean, obviously Patrick Mahomes signed that disgusting deal disgusting in a good way.
Yeah.
With the Chiefs, and he's balling out. So maybe it's like a Philly curse. Like,
well, he's balling out, and like him and Andy Reid are like two peas in a pod. Did you see he changed his Twitter picture of like to that picture of Andy from when he was 14?
yeah, I mean, literally like father son.
Yeah, it's really sweet to see, and even somebody like Andy Reid.
Yeah, good for him. And like
Yeah.
how again, he literally gave blood, sweat, and tears. Andy gave blood, sweat, and tears to the city. His son died here. Like that is a whole episode in and of itself about what happened to his family. And
that was like, actually, I had a blog at the time. I had like a little sports blog at the time, and when that happened, I remember I wrote this whole thing like, that's enough. Like, it's time to close that chapter on Andy Reid in Philadelphia, because like that I just remember vividly that whole time period. And yeah, I was like, that's enough for Andy Reid in Philadelphia. Like,
and like he had to leave to like be phenomenal.
Well,
and this is the episode we're getting to, this episode where we're going to talk about why do people succeed when they leave.
So, and we should probably do that one like post football season, like, or post Eagles football season, which any day now, depending on how things go.
Yeah,
tick tick. But yeah, that's definitely something that like we have to touch on.
Yeah. So the Nets and the Celtics are playing. The Mavs.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, the Mavs and the Lakers. I mean, it'll be really cool to see Luka and LeBron.
Yeah.
Again, like like Dallas gets Luka and we get Ben Simmons who won't shoot. Like,
I am excited for the Sixers though. I'm really, really, really excited for the Sixers season. I can't believe we're finally here.
Yeah, I guess. And then the Clippers and the Nuggets which is going to be kind of interesting because obviously it's the first season. Like we have Doc Rivers now that he left the Clippers. So it'll be interesting to see how the Clippers do without him. I will say that I am going to admit this, but like I've been struggling with the Eagles and the Sixers. Like I feel very indifferent, which is very weird because the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. Mm-hmm. And I've been struggling. Like everybody kept saying how they were so excited about the game on Sunday, the Arizona game. And I just couldn't get into it. Like I'm having such a hard time. I don't know. I just feel very like blah. I feel blah on the Sixers. Yeah. And I feel blah on the Eagles, and I feel blah on the Sixers. And I think it's with the Sixers is because I was so excited when it was JJ and Jimmy and Tobias and Ben and Joel. And I just felt like they had such amazing chemistry. And then that all broke up. And not only did it break up, but then we found out how miserable Jimmy was and how JJ didn't want to be here anymore. And all the drama with Tobias and then Joel and Ben. And then last season was so bad and there was no excitement. Like Josh Richardson and Al Horford were a bust, and Tobias Harris was unfortunately a bust. And I like Tobias, but and so I think I'm just kind of like, I just have zero expectations. So, and I'm just kind of just like, meh. Like, I guess I'm hoping they prove me wrong, but I've just been meh.
Which is a good way, I think, to head into any sports season, is to kind of like temper your expectations. That way you're not setting yourself up for disappointment. And I even said this this past week when it comes to the Eagles, and everybody's so hype on Jalen Hurts because he had a solid performance on Sunday. But I said, you know what, like, especially because and a lot of it is, so you are having like an inherent mistrust in the organization, you know, making the decisions that like for the Sixers. So you're apathetic.
I'm trying to apathetic. That was the word. Like,
Yeah.
see,
And
please call Natalie our vocab queen because she always knows the words.
Yeah. And it's like, it's a lot of it is because, so, you know, they sold, I keep saying this phrase and this is just how it's coming out. I'm like, I'm not buying what these people are selling me anymore, because essentially the Eagles are selling me a product. The Sixers are selling me
Hold on, everybody. Natalie's taking us to Christmas Mass right now.
Yeah, here we go. So I'm not buying what you're selling me anymore, especially with the Eagles. The Sixers making the decisions that they did this offseason, Doc Rivers, Daryl Morey, Morey pulling the trigger, you know, making those moves that have, you know, needed to be made. Getting like Seth Curry, stuff like that, you know, like who's going to shoot the three, which is what we need.
Good point.
I have more faith in them because ownership is taking accountability for the team now. I think after they saw that they couldn't replicate what they had with when they had Jimmy and JJ and that whole team.
Yeah, because it goes back to chemistry, and it goes back to that thing that this theme of this podcast is, that there's this thing sometimes you can't put your finger on.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I'm excited about the Sixers, is because ownership was like, okay,
yes,
we're not going to
do this. That's a good point.
Like, we want to win. But at the same time, as excited as I am for the Sixers, I'm going in a lot differently than I have in the past couple years, because I'm not setting myself up for disappointment. And now my attitude going forward for both the Eagles and the Sixers and any team is, I'm not hedging any bets. I'm not placing any like how we talk about that, how like there's that certain chemistry and like that certain like intangible factor that you have that makes you a superstar. I need to see it first. Mm-hmm. Like that's how I'm taking it. So like Jalen Hurts had a solid game for the Eagles on Sunday. All those touchdowns, you know, 4 touchdowns, you know, 2 were called back, whatever, like all that stuff. But
yeah,
I'm not saying that he's going to be the next franchise quarterback just because the Eagles thought that they had it.
Yeah. I think that you're right, is that it is a mistrust. I think I'm so defeated and disappointed with how everything with the Eagles has happened. There's been so many things. It's like, okay, obviously we came from this high of the Super Bowl, and then they got rid of Foles, and I was never part of the Folesian Society. I always felt like it needed to be Carson's team. But then they drafted Jalen Hurts, and then they didn't get what they needed to get. And then I don't know. It's given me like an icky feeling.
Well,
that's the best way. Like that's the best way to describe it. Like, and it's the Eagles right now, it's an icky feeling, and I don't like it.
Well, because they're like the team is selling you like a bag of shit and expecting you to eat it.
Like I used to be like proud, like, yeah, and like I always thought that they were such a great organization, and I just feel icky. But I do want to shout out Brandon Graham, Fletcher, and Jason Kelsey, who made the Pro Bowl. So that's big.
Yeah. I still can't believe that this is Brandon Graham's first Pro Bowl.
And like I love him. I love following his wife Carlin. I love Emerson and their new baby boy Bryson. Like I love the Grahams. The Smiths family is my favorite family. Tori and Chanel, I want to get them on. And the Grahams are a close second. Second.
The Grahams they're super sweet. And I mean, he's been consistent. 2017, I think 2018 was one of his lower years, like sack wise, but he has 7 this year. I think it was 9.5 last year, or maybe that before. I'm confusing the numbers. Though 2018, I think he only had 3.5 sacks, but either way, like he's been the best bang for the buck that the Eagles have spent.
Yeah.
And right now I'm in this space where I'm not even really focused on like game analysis anymore, because I don't even trust, like I don't even trust the product on the field. Like right now, I have this very specific tunnel vision toward like organizational managing the organization and what they're doing with their money and where they're spending it and how they're making their decisions. Like I'm so far past caring about
the actual games,
but caring about the actual games just because it's such a shit show up top.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I'm not buying your shit anymore.
Yes, I agree.
You're not going to hand it to me in this bag and expect me to eat it, because I'm not. So I think that's the best way to, you know, protect your sanity as we embark on another basketball season as well. Although I'm more optimistic about the Sixers going in than I was the Eagles going into the season.
I do want to say really quick, Carlin, who's Brandon Graham's wife, she posted a really sweet thing on Instagram about how she's like, you went and did, she wrote a whole long thing, but basically what she did say is that he's managed to meet every one of his professional goals. He wanted to make the Pro Bowl. He wanted to be a captain. He wanted to win a Super Bowl. And she was like, you've worked your ass off. And like, you've been so amazing. And I was like, that's incredible, you know, that like he was able to do that. And he even said in his quote about how he know his time is almost up. So the fact that at 32, he was able to do it. And 32 in football years is incredible that he's still able to be there. So that just makes me happy when good things like that work out for good people.
Yeah. And I mean, Jason Kelce too.
Awesome.
His like probably if this is not his last year, I'd be really intrigued to see if he comes back next year. But yeah, no, I'm happy for those guys, and they've been such an integral part of the team and the veterans, and they're setting up the standard for the young kids in the locker room now. I'm not terrible. I call them kids, and it probably is because like Brandon Graham, you know, and Jason Kelce, like they're my age, and I remember like you know, hanging in Fishtown like 7 years ago, and like this was when like, you know, during the summer, like all the Eagles would be out, like everybody would just be hanging out. So like I feel like they're kind of like my peers. And then I look at like Jalen Hurts and, you know, Jalen Reagor and like Travis Fulgham, and I'm like, look at you, little angel, like you sweet little boys.
It's so weird though, like because I feel like they're so much older, like for whatever reason, like I'm always like, wow, they seem like they're 50 but they're only 30. Like Malcolm Jenkins seems like he's 65, you know what I mean? But he's 31, you know. It's like it's the strangest thing. And like Aaron Rodgers, like I was watching the game on Saturday night and they're interviewing him. I was like, somebody needs to get pop a ring light because
right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know if it's just like because what they do to their bodies, and because they have to, especially when you're at a position of like you're a captain or you're, have been in the league for 10 years, you take on this more mature role. And so it just kind of, but like it is weird because like I don't know. I just feel like Drew Brees seems like he's like 58. You know what I mean?
I feel like Drew Brees is like 90.
I know. It's like, so weird.
Drew Brees is like 90. And again, it's just kind of a testament to their skill level.
Right.
And
absolutely.
Being one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. When you think about somebody like Tom Brady or Drew Brees or even like the Mannings, like they're still like relatively young.
Yeah.
But like to me, like, God, you're like 65. Yeah.
I know. It's so
But no, I look at like the Eagles team, like they're just like these little baby angels. My little sister, did I mention this last week? How she was like, Nat, is like Jalen Hurts, is he single? And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, well, he's 22, I'm 20. And then I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, look at these little baby angels. Like
she'll be sliding his DMs. Brother-in-law Hurts.
I know. Like trying to like, yeah. I was like, I can find out for you, but do you want to? I was like, I don't. Maybe like get him like maybe on the tail end of his career when he's a bit more mature and probably ready to settle down.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just it's so funny to me. So seeing like Brandon Graham and like get that honor finally, I just feel like I'm just really happy for him because I'm like, I feel like I've grown.
Yeah.
You know, in my career, as I've watched the certain, you know, specific guys from this who are still on this team grow and like have all these great achievements. So it's like, yeah, I feel like they're my peers in a way, which is nice.
Yeah, which is so nice. All right, so I think we'll wrap up our Christmas episode. We were always supposed to talk for 20 minutes, and now here we are 2 hours later.
How long is it?
That is our gift to you. I mean,
like 2 hours.
I don't. It doesn't say.
Happy birthday, baby Jesus.
Yeah. But it you know, just to get a little bit sentimental in regards to this year has obviously been really weird for a lot of people, but being able to start this podcast and to be able to connect with people, it's been so fun so far. And I just feel like I just want to thank the OGs. And you know, and share the love and spread the love, because we just really appreciate that.
Yeah, this, and what I'm just thankful for, especially this year, is how, again, you know, you entered this year, and I can't believe it's Christmas finally, but you enter this year and you think that, you know, you have other plans for how your year is going to go, and you have other plans for what you think that you're going to achieve and where you think that you're going to end up. And if you told me that I would be sitting here on Christmas and we'd be doing this podcast that is unique to us and like is super representative of like who I am and who you are, and like I would have been like, no, like that doesn't even
make sense.
Like that's not even part, like that's not part of my plan, you know? And like it's, again, trusting the process and being thankful that like even when everything was kind of taken away this year, it's like like managing the time period is what led us here. And yeah, I'm just so appreciative to anybody who takes the time to listen and pay attention. I've always said that, like anybody who takes the time to pay attention to like what I'm saying or what I'm doing, like I'm grateful, because it's like we're all on the same wavelength then.
So we're all on the same wavelength. Yes. We're even go to a different wavelength.
That's right.
It was funny because I was looking at some old tweets. And I saw tweets that I had tweeted you guys in like 2018.
Oh,
just
really?
Because I was like listening, and I'm like, wow, here I am in like listening to you guys as fans, and now like we're friends and we're doing this, and it was just, it's so incredible, kind of like the path that life takes you on. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And whether you believe in God or the universe or whatever that you believe in, I mean, I really do believe that, and Natalie and I talk about this a lot, like I'm not a scientist, but like we are made up of matter, right? Mm-hmm. Like we're made up of like neurons and atoms and all that stuff. And like, it makes sense that like energy produces energy. And that's why when we say like good vibes only, like we want you to feel our energy, and we want to feel your good energy, and we just want all good things.
All good things and all good energy and all good vibes as we head into 2021. You know, now this is the final week of 2020 that we're embarking on. It's so crazy to me. And yeah, I think everybody's learned a lot this year. And again, hopefully we'll all just be like kinder to each other and a little bit more lenient, a lot more love.
All right, speaking of love, give us some love. See, here's the thing. The bigger this podcast gets, the more cool giveaways we're going to have, the more prizes you get to get. Mm-hmm. So please write a review. Give us some love on the social. So the review is on Apple Podcasts, please. Review us, subscribe, and then obviously Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm like Snap Talk. TikTok and YouTube, the Lipstick League.
Yes, and we will talk to you guys next week. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, ho ho ho. Mwah. Mwah. Find some mistletoe. Mwah.
Oh yeah, mistletoe. That's right.
All right, off to watch 900 more Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yes.